From 1968 to 1971, Dodge offered a Scat Pack performance package on its Dodge Challenger. For 2015, that package is relived in the Challenger with this car, the 2015 Dodge Challenger RT Scat Pack. Now here's where it gets confusing. It is an RT, but there's not a whole lot of RT under the hood. Under the hood is actually the 6.4 liter V8, 485 horsepower from the SRT. Now Dodge says that's good to propel the Challenger RT Scat Pack from 0 to 60 in the mid 4-second range and do the quarter mile in mid 12s. So why not just call it the SRT? Well, the Scat Pack doesn't have a lot of the expensive features that the SRT does, like the Viper-inspired hood or the adaptive suspension. It also has a different wheel package. The SRT has wider wheels, and these are optional Brembo brakes, but they're only 4-piston calipers up front compared to the SRT's 6-piston. Now what does that do to price? Well, both the 8-speed automatic transmission and the standard 6-speed manual transmission come in around $39,000 for the Scat Pack compared to $47,000 for the manual transmission SRT. Speaking of that 8-speed automatic transmission, it is a highlight of the Scat Pack. Now with the 485 horsepower V8, it is just a robust transmission that shifts perfectly, always finds the right power band for the engine. It is just punchy in how it downshifts and will just throw you in the back of your seat. The transmission is a $1,400 option, but it's actually not a whole lot more expensive than the manual transmission because you don't get dinged with the $1,000 gas guzzler tax because of the 8-speeds ratings, which are 15 miles per gallon in the city and 25 miles per gallon on the highway, helped by cylinder deactivation, where it shuts down 4 cylinders when you're at light throttle. With the Scat Pack comes an active exhaust. And like the transmission, it is also a highlight of the Scat Pack experience. I don't think I'd want to even think about putting an aftermarket exhaust on this. It sounds so good. That 8-speed automatic transmission and always keeping those wonderful sounds in the right places in the rev range. I've also spent time in the Dragstrip Hero 707 horsepower Challenger SRT Hellcat. Now you may not think there would be a whole lot of similarities between the two because there's over 200 more horsepower. But what was surprising is that the Hellcat, with its adaptive suspension turned to comfortable mode and eco mode activated, it was easier to drive than this Scat Pack in traffic and slippery conditions. The Scat Pack is a fairly high-strung car without the ability to really turn down those sensitivities to the point where you can with the Hellcat. Now obviously there's a $20,000 difference and you might not be looking at the two, but it was a pretty interesting note from my time in both cars. Prior to 2015, the Challenger had that retro exterior and a retro interior, which really wasn't that nice. It was pretty basic, nothing that you would want to spend a lot of time in. They redid that completely for 2015. The new interior is what we've grown to expect from new Chrysler vehicles. There's a lot of technology, materials are nice, it's a good way to spend a lot of time on road trips or just cruising around. Seats are comfortable and there's still that same Challenger space on the inside. It's a big car. And that space really shows when you can fit in the back seat as an adult and also have a lot of cargo space. The technology on the inside is anything but retro. You have this great 8.4-inch touchscreen that we're a fan of in almost every application. You also have features like available adaptive cruise control, forward collision warning, heated and ventilated seats, and a heated steering wheel. What I really like about the interior is the 8-speed automatic transmission's real gear selector, not the electronic one like used in other 8-speed automatic transmissions in Chrysler's lineup. There's a park, reverse, neutral, and drive position that you can move back and forth. Plus you have these paddle shifters that just work fantastic, very, very quick and responsive. Unlike a lot of other non-dual clutch automatic transmissions, this one shifts very precisely. With all of the optional equipment on this particular Scat Pack, you're looking at a $46,000 Challenger. One thing you don't have to pay extra for is this wild, sublime green exterior color. I've met more neighbors in 2 days driving this car than the 2 months that I've lived there. They just come out of the woodwork asking about it. I had more attention in this than the 707 horsepower Hellcat. Do not buy this color if you're not prepared to attract the attention of every gearhead within a 1 mile radius.